Have you ever thought about buying a brand new home, one that's never been lived in, before it's even built? Well, today we're diving into exactly that, the world of pre-construction condos. We're going to walk through the entire process using a guide from the experts at Kirby Chan and Co. to see how it all works.
I mean, who hasn't had this dream, right? The idea of walking into a space that is 100% yours, with finishes that you picked out yourself, it's the ultimate goal for so many people. And buying pre-construction, well, it's one of the clearest paths to making that dream a reality.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the why, what makes pre-con so appealing. Then we'll talk about why you need an expert, walk through the actual step-by-step process, get real about timelines and costs, and finally, get you ready for your next confident move. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, what in the world are we even talking about when we say pre-construction? And more importantly, what's in it for you? Let's break it down. It's really as simple as it sounds. You're buying the promise of a home, directly from the person building it, all based on blueprints and plans. You're literally getting in on the ground floor, sometimes before a single shovel has even hit the dirt. And here's where the magic really happens. Think about it. You lock in a price today, but you don't actually own the place for a few years. While it's being built, the market value can go up, meaning you're building equity before you've even moved in. And you get to do all that while customizing your space and spreading your deposit out over time. It's a powerful combo. Now, as amazing as those benefits sound, let's be clear. This path isn't always a straight line. It has its own unique twists and turns, which is why having an expert in your corner isn't just a nice idea, it's absolutely essential. And this is the reality check, right? The process is filled with specialized contracts that are tough to understand, the potential for hidden closing costs, and of course the possibility of construction delays. Trying to handle all of that on your own can be seriously overwhelming and frankly pretty risky. This quote from Kirby Chan and Co. really hits the nail on the head. A project is only as good as the builder behind it. Their reputation for quality, for finishing on time, that can make or break your whole experience. This is where a specialist becomes your secret weapon. They get you that VIP access to the best units before anyone else. They help you make sense of the confusing contracts. They've already done the homework on the builder's track record. But most importantly, they're your advocate, looking out for your best interests from day one. Okay, so you understand the benefits and you know you need a guide. Let's get into the how. We're going to walk through the entire buying journey, so you know exactly what to expect from the moment you see a blueprint to the day you get your keys. And here it is, the whole thing, laid out in 6 clear steps, from the big picture research all the way down to closing day. Seeing it like this makes it feel a lot less intimidating, doesn't it? Let's zoom in on a couple of the really key parts. The deposit structure is a huge advantage. Instead of needing one giant lump sum right away, your deposit, usually about 20% total, is broken down into smaller, more manageable chunks over several months. This gives you time to get your finances in order while your future home is being built. Okay, now listen up, because this might be the single most important piece of advice in this entire explainer. That sales agreement, it's a massive, complex legal document written by the developer's lawyers. You absolutely must have your own lawyer, one who specializes in pre-construction, go over it with a fine-tooth comb before you even think about signing. All right, let's talk about the 2 things that can really catch people off guard when buying pre-construction: the timeline and what the actual final cost is going to be. Spoiler, it's more than just the price tag on the agreement. This is a term that confuses so many first-time buyers. You get your keys, you can move all your stuff in, but you don't actually own the unit yet. So how does that work? So think of interim occupancy as this unique in-between phase. Your apartment is done, but the city hasn't officially registered the whole building yet. During this time, you pay a monthly fee to the developer. It basically covers their costs. Your mortgage doesn't even kick in until what's called final closing, which is when the building is registered and the title officially becomes yours. And finally, we've got closing costs. These are those surprise fees we mentioned earlier, but they don't have to be a surprise at all. On top of your legal fees, you have to plan for things like land transfer tax and development charges. A good rule of thumb? Budget an extra 1.5% to 4% of the purchase price to cover it all. A real expert is going to help you get a much more precise estimate so you're not caught off guard. We have covered a ton of ground, from the big picture benefits all the way to the nitty-gritty details of contracts and costs. So let's bring it all home and pull together the key things you need to remember.
So, what's the bottom line? We've seen that pre-construction is a really strategic way to buy a home, but it has its own rulebook and its own costs. And the most important takeaway? Having an expert guide is what turns a complex, potentially stressful process into a confident and exciting one. It all boils down to planning.
And that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? The opportunity is right there, laid out like a blueprint. It takes some patience, and it definitely takes planning, but with the right guide, you can turn that piece of paper into a front door you can call your own. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.